Hey, everybody. I'm Taylor Ferber.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Francis, and this is Undressed.
It sure is. Do you like what I'm dressed in today, Joe? I feel like, you know,
I mean, Taylor, is this Snow White? Like, what are you doing today? Or are you just trying to
it
copy
is a
Joe
little
Francis? Hold on.
snow.
There were two schools of
Copy Joe
thought there.
Francis
Well, with the white,
in your black tee that we've seen
not
every single week for
today.
the last 3 months. So
Yeah, every single
listen,
week. But
I
what is this
actually
beautiful ensemble? Because you look
Well,
beautiful today.
thank you, Joe. Well, it's a couple things. First off, before we started here, you were a little bit lower on the set, so it was giving like, I would do the correct Snow White reboot, and you're the seven dwarves personified. Or, or Joe, it was a good look for you, Joe. It was a good look. Or in light of today, in the spirit, actually, quite literally in the Holy Spirit of today's episode, I feel like it's just giving white like a virgin, touch for the very
Yeah.
first
Well,
time.
I mean, considering that you do, I mean, you look like virgin white, lily white. And if I can say Snow White, unfortunately, they ruined that movie and made it all woke and changed the cast member. But you would play a better Snow White than the actual Snow White.
Thanks,
And then
Joe.
the film probably wouldn't have flopped at the box office last week and only done $30 million for a blockbuster.
It's they're hemorrhaging money, but you know who's actually not, and who is making their way to the bank and riding actually on the coattails of Girls Gone Wild is a little entity you may have heard of, Joe, called Girls Gone Bible.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Joe.
I mean, there's a lot to say about it. So you'll have to
biting his tongue.
Taylor, I'm biting my tongue. I mean, the fact that there were not design computers in these days, that I made that logo myself with my own two hands, working with an animator from an Asian guy from a studio in the
Geppetto. He was the
way ahead
Geppetto
of my time. This is before the internet. And
a craftsman.
A craftsman. Exactly. Craftsman. Thank you, Taylor. Well said. So eloquent. That's why you're such a wonderful co-host, because you're so eloquent. And you put things just so everyone can understand them. It's great. It's a great explanation. But to have
we got mansplaining, and I'll do the womansplaining.
Yeah.
That's what we want to call it.
Yeah, womansplaining. Yeah, let's do it. But so essentially, we all know, let's assume, we all know what Girls Gone Wild is and Guys Gone Wild. And that logo that I designed is iconic. It's recognizable, right? Would you say? Is that fair?
It actually is. And I would say it's so timeless that it has now been hijacked and used by Girls Gone Bible, which let's just tell these guys what it is that they don't know, though.
Slow down, though, Taylor. Remember, these girls are using it to promote the Bible. We used it to promote what was the original OnlyFans, right? Was Girls Gone Wild, naked girls. So other than stealing this, I don't understand, other than stealing an iconic logo like Louis Vuitton or any other logo, name any other corporation, you can't just do that. How do you then take a product that is completely the Bible and then market what was essentially what other people call, risque pornography, right?
Guys, think about what Joe just said. And for those of you who don't know, there are these two girls out of LA called Girls Gone Bible, and it is a smash hit. So they took not only the name of Girls Gone Wild, but the logo. This says everything. This says it all. To Joe's point, which Girls Gone Wild was the first OnlyFans. So this went from promoting boobs to the Bible, which the irony of that literally says it all. Okay, it says it all. And these girls have made a killing. Okay,
Killing.
They have
okay,
a killing, and this says it all.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but because I want you to lay it out who they are. No, I know, but let's show the clip so everybody can see this.
Bibles have been a part of our walk and journey with Jesus, and we are so excited to share them with you.
God's word is living, it's breathing, and meant to be engaged with.
I spend a lot of time with Jesus, and I have to actively fight against temptation every day of my life. It's a constant battle and choice.
Oh my God. Well, it cuts.
I feel like I just saw. Did you just see Jesus?
I saw Jesus.
No, listen, we're not gonna make fun of the Jesus people.
No,
are
this
we?
this is a trademark infringement show. Okay, go ahead.
This
With
is the
what you were saying.
legality, ladies.
Break it down. Who are these imposters? I think
they actually
imposters.
are, which is so
I
funny.
think
They are
frauds.
Jesus imposters.
Number one,
these two are
girls,
grifting off the Peace Corps.
What are their names? They're frauds.
I don't know their names, but what I do know is these are like hot influencers, okay, who have gone on this journey, who have tried. It just cracks me up, Joe, so much. I mean, look, I can't knock their hustle completely because, like, get your bag, get your money. But these are two hot influencers who are signed with UTA, okay, out of LA, and talk,
which is United Talent Agency for those out of Hollywood. United Talent Agency.
And they talk all about Jesus and the Bible and finding Jesus.
And they're actresses.
Right,
and they've been on. Look, Taylor, and you're thinking, they put this, they just asked ChatGPT 2 years ago or a year and a half ago when they started this, what should we steal? That's an existing logo. And how can we make a lot of money with a lot of really impressionable, I don't want to call them stupid people, but impressionable people, right? And ChatGPT said, well, and make a lot of money. Oh, they said, go for the Christian market. Those people are anybody that believes that shit is definitely going to believe and buy your products, right? I mean, if you can believe somebody died, rose from the dead, all of it. Like, if you can get somebody to believe that, they will buy anything from you. So they are going. Religion is the best business in the world.
No, facts. Like, what it's showing your tits is one, and religion. And actually, what we're going to explore today is how they actually are neck and neck, and they kind of go hand in hand. But to your point, yes. And who knows what really happened in their personal life if they actually were, you know, in a toxic LA influencer actress environment and actually found Jesus, whatever. The honk if you love Jesus people, though, are relishing in this, and they really are taking this audience, Joe. To your point, they have 1 million followers on Instagram. They're embarking
like 2 million, 1.5.
They're embarking on a world tour, which also cracks me up. And this is a marketing ploy and scheme at its best, because I was like, where's the international? I'm only seeing U.S. domestic cities in this world tour, but that's for another day. Either way, Joe, this really says something like the trad. I mean, a religion is just part of the trad trend, trad wife, trad life, that it's making a comeback. But I think that this speaks volumes. I mean, think about it. Right. The fact that this went from boobs to Bible and is speaking to the masses of these young people.
Yeah. I mean, it shows that the brand in the logo that I designed obviously are timeless. So, you know, imitation is flattery. But
I was going to say imitation is the best.
The fact that the application is Jesus and the Bible, and that these girls are such frauds, though, that's the thing. And there's poor people who are like believing in them, but they're following the Girls Gone Wild logo like it's this amulet, like this religious. It's like the cross.
Actually, quite literally. Literally,
it's like an amulet. Like, so it's like, I feel like, oh my God, like I've been in like sort of like, you know, maybe I'm like spiritual now, Taylor. Maybe I'm like Christ.
You are.
You're following me.
You kind of look like
Jesus people are following my logo. That's like the cross.
No, I love how I was like, it is timeless. And you come back and like 6 minutes later, you're like, let me just tell you my logo. It was timeless. I'm like, yes, Joe, thank you for reminding us and circling back like Jen Psaki on your timeless logo.
And it was stolen.
No,
okay,
but it does have to hit close to home. I get it. Yeah. I get building something off your back from nothing and, you know, making it into an empire. Like, I understand that. So I get why it hits.
And then two bitches from UTA steal it. Yeah. And then do all the Bible crap.
Who knows if they're frauds?
Okay.
Who knows? I will say this, okay, in transparency, I actually reached out to their team. That's right.
You did. Right.
I reached out to their team, okay? Ain't no shame in my game. And I was like, look, you know, launched a show with Joe Francis. He obviously created Girls Gone Wild. You guys have took this and ran with it, okay? Which is also like, just on a cultural level, but also, like you said, illegal. And I said, let's have fun. Let's play. Look, we could go rogue, but let's not. Let's play in the sandbox together, make fun of it, have them come on the show, whatever. And they never responded. So ladies, you're on notice because we put it out there. Let's have fun of the irony of it all and have fun together. But you know what? I don't know. They chose their fate, so we'll see what happens.
Well, and then we go to federal court, and that's how that ends. We all know how trademark infringement ends, but it is interesting how immediately when you contacted them, they did pull all the merchandise down from their site because those will be the first claims. But any damages to the tour, they're infringing on the logo, blah, blah, blah. But to your point, this is pushing us more and more into the trad life, the traditional lifestyle that was this religion, Jesus thing, in like the statistics are not wrong. Like in 2023, people, our generations, we stopped being religious, right? And then it started up again. At least it leveled off in 2023 and 2000.
That's right.
Right?
Yes. Well, it actually, you're exactly right. There was a kind of like a retraction from religion, and we've actually seen it plateau. I actually believe as early as around 2019. And then I think obviously with the pandemic, that put people into overdrive of like trying to find Jesus. Like they tried to find Jesus and Fauci, that led them astray. That led them right, didn't work. So they trying to find real Jesus, right? But you find it really with Gen Z. And so it got us thinking even about this episode, Joe, like what is going on with the return? And this like trad is trendy. And by the way, let's not forget that I had to tell you what trad meant.
Okay, all fairness, of course. Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, because you're like, trad. And I'm like, what the hell is that?
No,
I don't know. I'm going
person.
through. Yeah.
Not the first person then, I had to tell. I tell one of my other shows.
Taylor, Taylor Ferber taught me a word and made me cool. Thank you, Taylor.
Welcome. Wait, can we say it again? Just like you got your second validation. So
all
now
right,
I'm gonna pull you out.
All right, everybody.
I taught Joe what trad is and made him cool. You're all welcome.
Taylor Ferber taught me what trad is and made me cool. But it doesn't mean I agree with it. And I purposely didn't know what that abbreviation meant because I've never used it it's not in my vernacular, and it will be permanently discarded from my vernacular after this show because I am a non-traditionalist. I try to look, I'm a traditionalist, but I'm a non-traditionalist. And I think there's a hybrid model, and the religion thing scares me. Everyone going back into, we're all going to get married. We're all going to have multiple weddings under God over and over again. I went to a wedding this weekend. So it's like a non-religious one, by the way, which are the ones I enjoy. But look, it'll be great for the birth rate of the United States, but it just seems so terrible for the progression of society. It just seems so bad for men and women to fall straight back into these societal norms which don't work, which are proven not to work. Those relationships end 55% of the time, and then in the first 5 years in divorce or separation. And then after that, 75% fail. So like, what are we doing by saying that this is the right lifestyle? This is not the right lifestyle for everyone.
That's actually such an interesting point that you make. I actually hadn't thought of it. And you're a Gen Xer, right? And Gen X, I believe, got the brunt of the rapid divorce rate of 50%. I think you guys were really like where it hit you the most. And I actually hadn't thought of it of like, actually, the proof is in the pudding. And I didn't even realize it was 55. I thought it was still 50-50. Like, not a 50-50 shot. And you're exactly right. Like, you make a vow in front of your loved ones, in front of God, and then push comes to shove. And yet people are really into this again. I'm serious. I'm talking like beyond religion, and religion is just a part of it. And even for my generation, like the millennials and Gen Zs, you're seeing this with like Bible verses in their bios and like wife and mom to whoever, and like trying to get married and pop out 5 kids at 23 and do the whole white picket fence. Like, it is a total thing. And I personally think, Joe, that part of this comeback that nobody saw coming, I think it's partially political, because I think that we have been pushed, down our throats so long. We've seen like, feminism and you be independent and do your own thing and make your own money. And people saw the backlash of that, and people are like, I'm not happy. I'm getting off to Netflix with my cat, like every night, not this cat, but like my actual cat, and like who's having fun here. And so now you're seeing the return of like, the nuclear family and traditional values and all this. And so who would have thought? I mean,
No, you're exactly right. And as we say on the show, quite a bit, because the topics that we do, I mean, the pendulum swings, right? The pendulum swings, and it always swings back, or you can, equate it to a rubber band. It's always going to expand and contract, expand and contract. And we are in that phase right now. But yeah, I mean, look, if I was a Gen Zer, like, I would be scared as shit. It's like, this guy's trans, this guy is a fucking monkey, this guy's whatever, like everybody's equal, even the retarded kid that's behind me in school. You can say retarded now, it's 25. No,
yes,
remember, just so you know, I said retarded in 2025 when it was legal again. Okay, everybody.
Joe, it never went.
Don't play this back.
Never went anywhere. It never went anywhere.
No.
It never left.
But only it never left. Look, I don't think it did, but I had to stop saying it publicly. But I'll tell you,
True. And secretly, whenever someone said it out loud, I was like,
for fear of losing income. But it's okay. Now you can say retarded. Okay. And if I was one of these kids and I'm growing up in this fucking mess, like whatever the Joe Biden thing was for 4 years, whatever that, like, the view of the world was, like, I would be so confused too, and I would migrate just to what I viewed as sanity, like, and get a wife, get some kids, get a white picket fence, like, so I can understand the migration. Now, I don't understand the religion, but I agree, it's politics. I think that the politics has, once again, which it's not supposed to, in the United States at least, like the politics and religion are completely separate, and that's what it's always supposed to be. But now,
church and state, maybe
church and state, but that has been completely compromised by, obviously, the smart Trump administration. Why not go after the Bible crowd? That's your best crowd. Those are the easiest people, easiest crowd. I don't want to call it, because they're not stupid people. I mean, my family, they're all like that. But they're the most impressionable. So if you can market to the most impressionable people, like ChatGPT told those two UTA Girls Gone Bible bitches, like thieves. That, by the way, before I go back to this, what is in the 10 Commandments? I believe "thou shalt not steal" is one of them. Bible bitches, Girls Gone Bible, "thou shalt not steal." Yeah,
he's got a point.
You're stealing from Joe Francis something that you call pornography.
He's got a point, ladies.
You call it pornography, and you're selling Jesus?
Listen, people need to.
And we're not going to court.
People need to find Jesus right now, and exactly, ladies.
Thank God,
ladies,
we won't be going to church. I won't be suing you in church. I'll be suing in federal court.
Here's what's gonna happen when you have this when this whole thing shakes out. I'm going to, like Candace Owens style, do a whole investigative thing, play by play, of like the Girls Gone Bible versus Girls Gone Wild. And I will be front row with popcorn in the court.
I want to know who these girls are. And let's hire private investigators.
Well, listen.
Let's get the whole story. Let's expose it.
PI. Listen.
I don't need Magnum PI. There's so many good investigators. But,
they are speaking to, but they've tapped into something in the zeitgeist, which we're
steals
getting at.
You have every right to hire a private investigator to investigate them. So.
Yes. Okay. Yes. And they've tapped into something, like I said, in the zeitgeist, where people need, for whatever reason, to find something big, even if it is the trad thing, something bigger, or faith, or whatever it is. And there's a part of me that thinks too, is it also, yes, politics, is it also being overwhelmed with technology and bombarded with information, and they're isolated and they're insecure, they're anxious, they're depressed? That may be part of it, but I can't help but notice, Joe, that another part of this pendulum swing you speak of, or the backlash, could also, just color me tickled. Is that the expression? I think it is. Because
I don't know, but I don't like it, so don't say it again.
Yeah, exactly. It ends here.
It's stupid.
It ends here.
I mean, for the woman that taught me trad and made me cool, you whip out that.
The more you know. The more you know. I know. I'm a jack of all trades. Like, you never know what you're going to get, okay? But we also have the most over-sexualized culture, especially of women, that we've arguably have ever seen. I mean, you don't even have to go further that forget OnlyFans, okay? Which we're going to get to. You don't even have to get further than Instagram because it's just more and more and more of your average Jane and Sally showing every crevice on the beach of their tits, of their ass all the time. It could be a yoga class. It could be online. So then you have it with this juxtaposition and the contradiction of the trad return. And sometimes they exist within the same people, which we're seeing more and more. So I don't know if it's like the rebellion to all that is trad wife, oddly enough, like the rebellion to being wild and an exhibitionist is trad life. But Joe, 2% of young women in America, 2% are on OnlyFans. That's how widespread and
2%.
rampant this is. Yes.
No,
and
but,
1 in every 10
2% is the total. But hold on.
Of American women.
Hold on.
That's a lot.
Here are the women that make the most money on OnlyFans. Okay. The women between the ages of 18 and 24. Okay. Because those are the key fertility. The guys seek 18 to 24-year-old females.
And do you know how many, you love your stats, you know how many of them are on American women that in that age group?
10%.
That's right.
10% of American women between the ages of 18 to 24 are on OnlyFans right now. So really, Taylor, what we've seen is an uptick in both, but you said that we're over-sexualized. Now, I think we're exposed to sexuality, but we're not an over-sexualized culture because I'll tell you, it was a lot more fun in the late 90s. Okay. It's like sex-wise and like openness and things like that. Right now, it's a closed culture, and these people are not having sex. Go back to episode, 2 or 3. We talked about that and had those statistics, and there's no reason to talk about them again. But these people are exposed to everything you're talking about, the Instagrams, the posts, all of that. But they're not then acting on it and having sex because, like you said, with the electronics, the technology, they're already getting their dopamine satisfaction off of that. They're getting like their whole thing. And then I agree. Like if I was a kid in the last 4 years, I would probably have ran to a religion or something to get me out of what the fuck was happening in the United States. It's like, okay, everyone's trans, everyone's this, everyone's that. Like, it's everyone's equal. It's like just exactly.
Jesus, make it make sense.
I know, Jesus, make it make sense.
Jesus, make it make sense. So maybe we'll be in church this Sunday together.
Maybe, let's go to church this Sunday.
Let's do it. And then we'll go to temple because, our Ashkenazi Jew just,
gotta do temple.
Is popping at all times. So I actually very much disagree with you. And I think that's
Tell me why.
I'm about to. You ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm ready. Bring it on.
He's right here in the pew. Right here in the pew.
Let's go. So
I actually think that was why Girls Gone Wild was so successful because nudity and seeing that was so rare and coveted. Whereas now it's everywhere. I mean, I talk about Instagram, OnlyFans, but you even look at like mainstream advertising, songs, you have WAP, this, that, the other thing, my truffle butter, all kinds of stuff. Like it's so explicit, so over the top. Everywhere you look, movies, like I said, music, advertising. And I think back then it was like, I'm like back then in the old age, AKA when you were my age now. But I think it was more sort of like the allure and the mystery. And that's why, again, what you did was so successful. Whereas now I could see the return. It's like the fatigue and it's like, God, it's
we're
too
saying
much.
The same
it's all
thing
the same. No. You're saying back then it was
sexual.
More. You're saying people actually acting on it. I'm talking culturally what we're exposed to and what we see.
Exactly. Now it's changed. It's the converse, right? It is not like, there was people were having sex. That's factual, right? We've covered it on the show. We've covered it.
Well, they knew how to talk to. Now we can't even. They're debilitated. They don't even know how to say something. They can't even talk to each other.
100%. That's one of the factors for sure. But that's what's happening. But we're on the same page. I completely agree.
I had your mind as erect as my mic here, and that's just like that's what I do. So no one can ever disagree with me ever. We've seen the living proof here, but.
Oh my God. But now I've exposed my secret that when we do the show.
So we already knew.
Watching porn.
We already knew.
You know? Okay.
Yeah, we already knew. We already knew.
Okay.
So, people are going to make what they will of it. It's fine.
Yeah.
We don't judge here, right?
Guys, I don't want to be
guys?
Jeffrey Toobin and get fired.
We don't judge, right, guys? Wink, wink, wink.
Yeah.
So this entire craziness, like I said, of this juxtaposition and the contradiction of it all that's so nutty is personified by a lot of women. But I mean, there is like the culture war, right? The battle of the holier than thou, the morality please versus the over the top OnlyFans, whatever it is, Instagram model, the whole thing. But you have it all in one with people like Sophie Rain. Okay. This woman is a 20-year-old Tampa native who, look, again, same thing with the Bible bitches. I'm not going to knock her because she's making a hustle, but this woman.
No, we can't. But hold on.
Hang on. She's same thing as making her bag, but this is somebody who you would find at any old Tampa pool party, right?
Yeah.
This girl claims she's a virgin. She says now I think she's showing full nudity, but I think for some time only showed boobs. She
claims she's a virgin. Hold on.
She's the highest earning OnlyFans creator ever. She's made $44 million. She makes $4 million a month.
Let's show the clip. Show the clip. Show the clip.
I know you saw the clip of Julia making $400,000 a month, so I just need to know, like, how much are you making a month?
I don't know if I don't really want to hurt your feelings. I just don't.
Hurt my feelings? What do you mean?
I don't want to say.
You don't have to say, just show me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And I won't break your phone. I actually like kind of tearing up. $4 million?
I'm very strong. I have a very close relationship with my church. And I love God. Like I believe that he will forgive your sins for anything. And I think that he's happy that I'm successful.
Wow.
Oh my God.
God, but she says she talks about going to church. $4 million, but she talks about going to church and having like the Zooms of the church she grew up with, and how Jesus and God would want her to be, they forgive, and they would want her to make this money, and they're happy for her. And so it's all in one in her, there's a part of me that has to think, is the virgin aspect of marketing. It's like the girl next door. I'm learning a lot about men, by the way, through this entire thing, but the whole thing had my brain in a blender. Okay. $4 million. Well, is it the allure of the virgin, the actual girl next door? I mean,
yeah, but she said, okay, so that's what she said in the interview, and we all just saw it, is the interviewer is obviously playing along because she's an OnlyFans girl and she's smart. And she doesn't want to diss her, just like we don't want either. This girl's making her hustle and whatever. So she says that, she's a virgin in real life, but not on camera. Like that but that's for work. That's what she says to the female interviewer, right? And that clip. And I think that is so telling because is the allure of virgins, for some reason, I don't know, I've had sex with many virgins, and I can tell you that that's not necessarily the greatest thing in the world all the time, depending on the situation, okay? But they promise in these crazy religions like Islam or whatever, they promise 72 virgins, right? If you die in the name of Allah and blow up a plane or something like that, right? So, yeah, of course, OnlyFans is doing the same strategy as Muhammad. And 72 virgins. And yes, that is a marketing strategy. I mean, Richard Branson named it Virgin Atlantic to be controversial, right? Because the virgin, is the virgin, it's like, that is the forbidden fruit. It's just like the straight male is the forbidden fruit for the gay man. That is the forbidden fruit, if they're good looking and desirable, right? Not all of them.
I'm still dead at Muhammad, the mass marketer.
Most straight men know. What? You're still
said I'm still stuck on Muhammad, the mass marketer.
He is. I got 70. He's original. Prophet Muhammad seems to be the original OnlyFans, right? Think about it, Taylor. I got 72 virgins right now. Like, no other religion had 72 virgins to put up. Did Christianity do that? No.
This is the tale as old as time.
Judaism, they didn't put up any virgins.
This is the tale as old as time. We talked about it in our prostitution episode, okay? Do you know who is the I don't know, your stats are going to be disappointed because I don't have the exact numbers, but basically the majority of consumers are white, middle-aged, married men. Again, not to go revert back to our prostitution, but like what middle-aged married woman is like, let me go pay to see these young guys in banana hammock? Like, it's not going to happen. But also like $4 million a month. But again, it's really the concentrated, personified version, not to be confused with virgin, of what we're talking about. It's like, I am showing, this is Girls Gone Wild Bible. I'm showing my tits and God is happy I'm making all this money. So it's where I don't know. I don't know who will come out on top again, no pun intended, of this culture war. If it will be more of the Sophie Rains, where it's a hybrid of the two. But again, it blows my mind. It blows my brain right now.
Absolutely. Well, because one guy, I don't know if you read it or not. So one guy tipped her alone
$5 million.
No, 4 million. Yeah, or was it? You said 5?
I thought it was 5, but you could be right. Yeah, but either way,
I mean, I read 4, but who knows? That is just crazy. So these women also at OnlyFans. So let's be clear, they have teams of people behind them. Most of them, sorry guys, I hate to pull the curtain.
Cat's out of the bag. Cat's out of the bag.
Most of them are dudes.
Just like Girls Gone Bible has a UTA publicity team behind them. Joe?
And management for sure.
Yeah, what?
Oh my God.
This is just our altruistic God's duty. We don't want to make a profit.
Well, you know what? They don't get, the funny thing is for Girls Gone Bible, Taylor, the cool thing about Girls Gone Bible is that when you sue them, they can't go to church. UTA and all the partners and all the fucking, all those, the thieves, they can't press God. They have to go before a federal court judge who's probably Jewish in Los Angeles.
Wow.
And explain why they stole marks.
Wow.
Yeah. And
you know what, Joe?
It'll be an embarrassment because, I mean, I'm sure some of the women there worshiping my logo, worshiping my amulet, like, in me, I guess, you know, I mean, maybe I'm like the Jesus guy.
Well,
I don't know.
Like, I mean, not to assume, but I think they're worshiping me.
I mean, if you're worshiping, like, you know, the
I heard their prayers that night.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they're, you know, this
is Bruce Almighty based on your life, Joe Almighty? I mean,
probably.
Wow. I'm so blessed to be doing this.
Well, I didn't know,
I only
Taylor.
know what I was doing.
I didn't know until Girls Gone Bible was able to rally all these people around me. I should have, you know.
Wow.
We should have entered those ChatGPT prompts earlier.
Joe, you know what cracks me up though is that the one thing in common that the Bible girls and the OnlyFans girls have in common, they say, you know, it's Jesus, it's capitalism. Okay, sweetie, that's what it is. So all of these people, one way or the other, are laughing their way to the bank. And that's actually maybe a takeaway I have. It's like, are they using Jesus as their cash cow, basically, to just get all this? I don't know, but either way, none of them are upset about the money, the amount that they're making. Yet, you know, in the separate respective camps, I'm sure they would also have no problem shaming one another. I mean, we certainly see, you know, from very conservative religious like pundits and women, they will also always like, they'll be like, don't even call them OnlyFans models, they're straight up prostitutes, you know. So, and I'm sure, you know, and I've seen it actually when I was on the Whatever podcast. You have some of the OnlyFans girls, you know, hypersexualized, you know, poke fun at and mock religion too. So either way, it's all crystallized in the Sophie Rains of it all. But I think you got to something interesting earlier, Joe, which is that at the end of the day, does this really work? We've been indoctrinated with like the traditional values, and does it really work? And will we actually see people? I'm actually surprised we're seeing more trad and we're not seeing more people break out of it. I know I certainly have experimented and, you know, and I've also often been at odds because I'm like, no, it's supposed to be this way. It's supposed to be traditional and what's right and this with what I've wanted to do. So I'll maybe, you know, get to it at a later time, but I can say I certainly have made unorthodox choices and experiences that I do not regret. So
yeah. I mean, but like, I think people go through phases, right? And like you said, the political climate has changed so dramatically, right? And religion is now involved in politics. It's not church and state anymore. It's church and state. That's the problem. So your going through this phase of your life. Now, I'm more like in my mind for the stupidest reasons. I'm more of a traditionalist, right? I like not the white picket fence, but a traditionalist in
No.
no kids, like, you know, a committed relationship. I like that, but okay. I also, you know, as a single person, I appreciate being single, and everybody does. So I'm telling you, I'm, you know,
Bull to the shit. I'm not negating or knocking your love of being a
hey,
dad,
if
having
you think I'm
kids.
full of shit, call me out, Taylor.
I
And
just
tell me
did.
why. Tell me why.
Full of
Go ahead. Tell
shit,
me
and I
why,
don't
Taylor.
need the stack of cards bullshit game
Tell me
to
why.
do it.
Tell me why.
Bullshit. Oh, please.
I'm not-
I know how you live. I've seen
Do
how
you
you
have
live.
kids?
This young
Do you
girl,
have
that
kids?
young girl, young chicks all around on the compound
Okay.
all the time.
But
Oh, come on. Oh
but
no, I
I'm not
really want to
married.
be Mr. Dave Smith who comes home to his wife every day. Yeah, right. You
I
would blow
didn't
your
say
brains
that.
out day one. No, you're like,
Okay,
oh,
I didn't say
traditional
that.
committed relationship values.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, over my
I
dead
said I
body.
like kids.
Over Jesus's undead resurrected body and over my dead body.
Fuck Jesus. I said I like kids.
No, you
You're
said
Jewish.
I like traditional this committed relationship, da da da. This guy can't commit a relationship, yeah, a week long and he's done and he's over it. With, you know, young girls flocking. Muhammad is his hero, the virgins, this, that, the other thing, whatever. Maybe not virgins, but like a harem, young women crawling all around all the time. So
Yeah, not virgins.
Yet. Yeah, not I know I changed that one. But
Oh, go ahead. Throw it in. It's fine.
But
72.
oh yeah, see exactly my point. He's like, oh, they're virgins, sure, throw them in the mix. Why
72.
not? Throw them in. Joe, you
If I don't have to blow up a plane, if I don't have to like die in a plane, die in a bombing for, you know, I'll take it.
You are so not Joe and Jane Doe down the cul-de-sac, and you know it. Tell the people a little
okay,
bit. Come on,
all right.
don't hold out.
So-
Don't hold out.
I'm not holding out, and
Yes,
I'm
you are.
totally open. Like, and I'm just saying, in my mind, would I be religious? You know, go to church with my family? Absolutely not. Would you go to temple? No. I mean, you know, it's like, do you even know where temple is? I don't think so. But like, would you like? Do you have an address? I don't know. You'd have to Google it. That's my point. Like, I'm not going back there, and you're not going back there, right? But
Are you
from
saying I don't
is-
wait, what? Are you saying I don't go to temple? I've been to temple
okay, you've been.
twice this last year.
Okay. All right. Last calendar year. Okay.
More than you can say.
Yeah.
During your like Mayan calendar, or what are we talking here? No, I'm just
I don't even know I was
But I
Jewish until
actually-
4 episodes ago. Okay.
Fine,
So
fair enough.
listen, I got time to make up for that. So there are differences. You were saying that I'm like, no, I'm not a trad life guy who's going to have the white picket fence, but I want my version of that traditional, you know, to have family, because I like family. Okay. So whether that, but it's not a traditional life, it's my version of that. Okay. Like, I want to be very specific. My
Fair enough.
version of what that
Fair
of what
enough.
that is to me.
Now it comes
And it's like, do you want to
much
have
better,
kids?
Much
I mean,
better.
do you want to have kids?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, thanks for calling it out. But if I wasn't making myself clear, but you want to have kids, right? So that'll be a different part of your life. And then you'll understand the next part. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And do it in our own way that doesn't fit, you know, the conventional norm. So
Yeah. And hopefully, though, you don't do it like
that's
Sophia
okay.
Rain. I mean, or you do.
do you want, you know, I'm wondering, you
think-
know, you talk about Trump and all this, you know, remember when Trump came out with his own like Trump Bible?
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
in this household sometime in, you know, the near future you speak of having, are you going to have the Trump Bible? You
I
know, you're
think I
Trump fan, you're going to
think
have the Trump Bible on your bedstand here?
I think I have to have I think the Thomas Jefferson Bible is actually my favorite, because do you know what he did?
Tell me.
This is what our founding fathers did. He took a Bible, and then he took scissors and he cut out all of the stuff to deal with like mystical stuff, miracles. And then what he said was, and that was his version of the Bible. It was everything but all the bullshit, right? He literally cut it out. And then he said, years from now, people will look at this just the same way we looked at the Greek gods. And he's exactly right. So will I have yes, I will have not the Trump, but the Thomas Jefferson Bible on my side and live purely by only those rules. But what I want to ask you,
and you'll become a priest.
Okay, you've been talking so much, and we've been talking so much in this show about OnlyFans. We talk about this girl, Sophie Rain. She's making $4 million a month, and that is far, far less than we're getting paid to do this show.
And no, again, your average girl next door. How many ways can you look at and buy? I mean, I guess Girls Gone Wild was living proof of that, but I guess a lot of ways, right? A million ways from Sunday.
2 million a month or 4 million a month?
For what?
4 million a month for Sophia.
4 million a month. Joe, she is the highest paid creator on this platform ever.
So
Insanity.
All right. Just
for me, it shows the Neanderthal ways of men, what they will do and pay for literally.
A journalist, Taylor. You are a trained journalist. Please, people, do not view any self-interest there's no self-interest here, even though I am her partner. And I would like you, I think that you should, but it has to be your choice, to pursue a journalistic endeavor. And let's see if you can make as much money as Sophie Rain and bring it home to daddy.
That daddy's not you, by the way. Let's clarify. But yes. You know what? You just stole my idea. Like the Bible girl stole your logo and your brand.
Yeah.
Yes, I had an idea that I was going to run by you.
Okay.
And I guess maybe we're just in sync, symbiotic co-hosts that we're just like this. Or you're stealing my idea, like the Bible girls, and you took a Bible page out of their Bible book. I had an idea. Yes, you're exactly right. For my journalistic, it is my journalistic duty to see what the hype is all about. I mean, you're exactly right. 1 in 10 women, and I'm a little over that age range, but you wouldn't know it. Whatever, age is a number, the stats, like I said, are arbitrary and don't matter, basically. So I figured, let me
And you're an educated and experienced journalist. So
thank you, Joe.
Your take is going to be extremely,
I thought, let's see what the experience and the hype is all about for journalistic, like I said, purposes and duty primarily, right? Let's just be real about that.
But I'm still your partner, right? Just to clarify things.
We'll let you think that. We'll let you think that. Well, an aforementioned daddy.
If you make
home to 40, daddy, okay? But he's like, hey, since we're establishing this on the show.
Okay, but let's say you make 44 million a year. Are you going to show up? And I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be like, Joe, how's the show going? Okay, send me a postcard. No, I will. I'll still do the show, Joe. I'm dedicated to the cause. I'm a woman.
Thank you. Okay.
My word.
All right.
But so I figure
thank you for agreeing to the profit split.
Did I though?
Yeah, 50-50. But that's okay. Keep going. You were saying
I love capitalism as much as as much as Sophie Rain and the Bible girls.
Remember, it was my idea for your OnlyFans.
No.
Okay, was
definitely most wasn't. But you know what?
All right.
Hey, I appreciate you being there in the Holy Spirit and in enthusiasm. And so I'll pay you in gratitude for that.
Okay.
In said enthusiasm. Gratitude. So what do you think? I mean,
how about money and gratitude? Both.
My love and gratitude is worth more money in the world than is worth more than any money or amount of money in the world.
Okay, I've heard it before. So all right. So what are we?
So anyway, he's like, I heard that from all my exes.
Same
old story. Yeah. So what do you think? I think I'm gonna kind of go into the rodeo and have some fun with it, and I will surely report back and do a fun journalistic experiment.
I think it is a great social experiment, and I think it has to be done. And I think when we find OnlyFans being mentioned on 5 out of 6 shows or whatever, it's at least you have to. I mean,
at this point, it's so prevalent and it's such a part. Yes, it's such a huge permeated part of our culture. I'd be remiss as a young lady myself if I did not. So I will.
But just to clarify,
how that goes.
If you do make $44 million, your co-host Joe Francis is splitting that with you, correct?
No, I can't say. How about this? I'll put a couple.
I don't understand.
I'll put a couple marketing dollars behind the show.
See, guys.
I'll send you a telegram.
This is why to be non-traditional is better because the minute you're involved in any relationship with a woman, and Taylor and I are not boyfriend and girlfriend, we're not married. She has a very lovely boyfriend, who's very great to her. But we are only in, what would you call it? A friendship and a business relationship where we co-host a show together. And she's fucking me. Like, guys, why would you want to be in a traditional relationship with any woman? Like, unless it's a dude, I advise non-traditional relationship.
I would actually see it as the opposite. Like, look at this. Look at this.
Just
like,
screwed me for $44 million.
I would look. What did you do? What did you do? I don't see you show. I don't see. I'm the one taking the pics, putting them up, strategizing, working, doing the poses. I don't see you doing.
I'll strategize. I'll even get Sophie Rain on the phone.
I'll strategize this. Strategizing is worth $44 million. Strategizing. I don't see you putting it out there. I don't see you putting it out there. You know what? You should be like, that's a boss making money. Yeah. Not give me, you don't want to be a moocher. You don't want to be on the equivalent of government checks. That is, you know, the OnlyFans. Exactly. So I'm just saying you should look at it as like, look at this.
See, guys. All right.
I'm just saying.
So,
well, you could applaud the Sophie Rains and not the Taylor Ferbers, but I was like, I'm not going to knock her. You were like, oh,
I'm
no, you shouldn't.
applauding you. When you get your username set up on OnlyFans, please
I'm
tell
thinking
us.
talk to Taylor. Talk,
Okay.
because, you know, my
like
shows
it.
Talk to Me Taylor, but it's like directly you're talking right to me. Talk
I
to
like
Taylor.
it.
So that's what I'm thinking. So
All right.
he's like, let's this group keep trying to, you know, edge his way into the profit here. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how much you're strategizing. I do want to dethrone though Sophie Rain. I'm sorry. And it's this girl, and maybe my edge.
You heard it here
virgin.
first, everybody.
Well, hers is the
Taylor
virgin.
Yeah, my co-host Taylor Ferber. Let me just get this clean for the audience. You heard it here first. Taylor Ferber has set out and threatened to dethrone OnlyFans top creator ever in the history of the world, Sophie Rain. You heard it here first. This is where it was announced. Go ahead.
That's right. Did we stutter? That's exactly right. And you know what? My play is going to be, if hers is, oh, I'm the virgin that looks like, you know, a girl who just, you know, basically served you at Applebee's, like really just average girl next door. Mine will be, you know what? You don't see this view of me interviewing celebrities on red carpets, on shows, on camera ever. And that's the, like, you know, coveted view. I'm just saying. So
The je ne sais quoi.
That's right. So
The je ne sais quoi.
let's exactly. So that's what I'm thinking. Let's go. Let's take these people to
go
church.
for it.
Let's bring us home, Joe. You know, Father Joe.
So you're
bring
gonna
us home.
update this. You're gonna update us about your OnlyFans later, I'm sure, on every show, and we will closely monitor that. And I'm closely monitoring Sophia Rain's page right now, and I will keep everybody updated what's happening. But it does occupy a few more extra porn windows, but it's okay. I'll do it for you.
Oh, so selfless. He's like, I did it for you, so therefore we will split the profit of your OnlyFans for no reason whatsoever.
So let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. So my co-host has left me and went to OnlyFans, everybody. So I will be pretty much, if she accomplishes her goal that she's announced on this show, I will be a single Undressed will be hosted by Joe Francis.
Max and the Grinch.
He's out with 44 million and I get nothing. So that's clear.
Joe, you know, I love you, Joe. I'm right or die. Like I said, I'm committed to the show. I'm committed to the cause no matter what. And I love how in every show there's an iteration of me back, like with the AI, Rob is leaving you, you know, for an AI co-host, you know, whatever it is. But Joe, just know it's all in fun. It's all fun and games that, you know.
Well, I hope you do it, Taylor.
We're in it for
it's
the
all
long
fun
haul
and
with
games. But I know we're in it to win it. But I hope that you are the queen slut. Really, honestly, I hope you take the title of Sophia Rain's, you know, OnlyFans, you know, queen slut title. I guess, right?
I mean, I'll just say I can work mics in many ways. This is just one of the ways.
Yeah, she's a virgin.
It's very versatile. And I'm a virgin. What he said.
And you are. So listen, just to wrap it up, the trad life is coming back and it's here and we're seeing it all around, but it's not for everybody. In my view, there is a hybrid scenario where you can have a traditional things in life like children or a family, but may not have traditional lifestyle things like religion and matrimony and the sense under God and in religion. So look, we're not hating on these people either. That's the thing. These people have chosen a life. And by the way, if we were them and we were growing up around the crap that they grew up around, we would probably gravitate to that too. So we can understand that. And we also understand the political climate, and that has made people gravitate to this as well. And we're not hating on Jesus people. We just know you're extremely impressionable, which is a good thing for us and our sponsors. So thank you for being those people. We love to make impressions, and we love impressionable people. But with that said, Taylor, final thoughts?
Yes, Joe. I have a couple of takeaways. One is, I don't know if it's cynical or just truth, but that with all of this, be it faith, values, sexuality, relationships, the one thing that does not die is good marketing. Okay. You have Mohammed the marketer, you have Trump with his Bible books, you have the Bible. I mean, Joe Francis walked. So these people, the Sophie Rains, the Bible girls could run. So marketing is just the faith, I guess, that doesn't die. And that will make impressions, like you said, on all of us. And I think on a further, perhaps more serious note is that, yes, it's like these two totally opposite things are at odds. We do have the trend of trad that's coming back, which is crazy. And like anything, I feel like the happy place, so to speak, is somewhere in the middle, or that people have not tapped into yet because we're so closely tied to what I know we explore this on the show a lot, but what we're told we should do and values and how things should be. And I think the more that we can break out of those boxes and, step into kind of what you and I were alluding to, right? What works for us, even if it's not conventional or what we see. I think the more fulfilled, liberated, and happy people will be. So I would always advocate for people to explore that, right?
Great.
And that's my thing.
All right.
That's my Bible verse for
and
today.
your OnlyFans.
And your newfound religion, everybody.
All right. And you're going to update.
Talk to Taylor.
Taylor, you guys, Taylor's going to update us in the bio with our OnlyFans link. So get excited about that. This is new, so we don't know what we're going to do. So I guess you
Nacho infiltrating this project. Joe pulling a Kim K tape on this project. He's like, listen, I've done it once, I'll do it before Taylor.
I'm taking over this project.
I've got it.
I know how to do this. Okay. So
don't
beautiful
worry, Joe. Like
endeavor.
I will put the marketing dollars behind Undress. Don't worry. I won't leave you high and dry.
I support you 100% because this is your because I mean, honestly, it's God's calling, just like it was for Sophie Rain. It's God's calling.
It came to me in the midnight, in the epiphany.
And you can finally be, okay.
Ain't no shame in my game. Look, you guys know everyone. I'm the only woman who both posed and was featured as a writer of the same issue of Playboy. So let's go for it. Ain't no shame in my game. It is you. Oh, okay. And just like we know, we've heard that you created Girls Gone Wild and the logo and the brand. Yeah, we know.
So anyways, that was the premise of today's show.
It is your newfound religion, guys. It is your newfound religion. My OnlyFans, just like the Undress show.
Right.
Newfound religion. So
okay, guys. All right. I will wear it. I will
share it. Wear it. Guys, subscribe.
We want you to subscribe. We want you to share this. We want you to like it. We want you to suggest it with your friends. And most importantly, thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Undressed.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks, guys. Now let's go find Jesus in my OnlyFans.